Nancy McKeon was once one of the most recognizable faces on television, thanks to her unforgettable role as Jo Polniaczek on The Facts of Life. For years, fans watched her grow up on screen, but over time she slowly stepped away from the spotlight, choosing a much quieter life. Now, at 61, a recent appearance has left longtime fans doing a double take and asking one big question: what has she really been up to all these years? Join us as we take a closer look at Nancy McKeon's journey and the moment that has everyone talking: road to show business. Nancy McKeon was born on April 4, 1966 in Westbury, New York. Long before she became a familiar face on television, she was growing up in a family that believed hard work and determination could open doors in the entertainment business. Acting wasn't something Nancy suddenly discovered as a teenager. It was part of her life almost from the very beginning. Her parents, Donald and Barbara McKeon, played a major role in helping both of their children pursue careers in show business. They recognized their children's comfort in front of a camera at an early age and decided to support those interests. Instead of waiting for opportunities to come along, they actively looked for auditions, modeling jobs, and commercial work. Managing two young performers was not easy, but they were committed to giving Nancy and her older brother, Philip McKeon, every chance to succeed. Nancy began appearing in commercials before she was even old enough to start kindergarten. While most children her age were just beginning to explore school and playgrounds, Nancy was spending time in television studios and on commercial sets. She quickly became comfortable following directions, remembering simple lines, and working with adults in a professional setting. Those early experiences helped her develop confidence that would later become one of her biggest strengths as an actress. Along with television commercials, Nancy also worked as a child model. She appeared in advertisements for clothing, toys, and other products aimed at families. These jobs may have seemed small, but they taught her valuable lessons about patience and professionalism. Every commercial or photo shoot gave her another chance to improve and become more comfortable in front of cameras. One of the most important people in Nancy's early life was her older brother, Philip McKeon. The two shared a close relationship from childhood and supported each other as they entered the entertainment industry. Philip began finding success first, and Nancy watched closely as he attended auditions and booked acting jobs. Rather than becoming competitive, the siblings encouraged one another. They understood the challenges of being young actors because they were living through them together. Philip's career took a major step forward when he was cast as Tommy Hyatt on the television sitcom Alice. The show became a hit, and his starring role changed the future of the entire McKeon family. To make Philip's work on the series easier, the family decided to move from New York to Los Angeles, where much of the television industry was based. The move also gave Nancy many more opportunities to pursue acting. Living in Los Angeles meant she could attend auditions regularly without the difficulties of traveling across the country. Even with more opportunities available, success did not come overnight. Nancy faced the same challenge that many young actors experience: hearing no far more often than yes. She attended countless auditions and competed against many other talented children for the same roles. Sometimes she came very close to landing a part, only to lose it at the final stage. Those disappointments could have discouraged her, but Nancy kept going. She continued preparing for auditions, learning from every experience, and believing another opportunity would come. During these years, she slowly built a resume through guest appearances on several television shows. Although these roles were usually small, they allowed casting directors and producers to notice her talent. Every appearance gave her more experience working on professional sets and helped her become a stronger performer. She learned how television productions worked, how to adapt to different directors, and how to make the most of limited screen time. That life-changing opportunity was just around the corner, and it would turn Nancy McKeon into one of television's biggest young stars, becoming Jo Polniaczek. By the end of the 1970s, Nancy McKeon had already spent years building experience as a young actress, but she was still waiting for the role that would truly change her career. That opportunity arrived when the producers of The Facts of Life decided they needed to make major changes to the show. Although the sitcom had started with a promising idea, its first season struggled to attract the audience the network had hoped for. Ratings were disappointing, and there were real concerns about whether the series would survive. To give the show a better chance, the producers made a bold decision. Instead of keeping the large group of students from the first season, they dramatically reduced the cast and focused on just a few girls with very different personalities. They believed viewers would connect more easily with characters who stood out and had stronger relationships with one another. This cast overhaul became one of the biggest turning points in the show's history. As part of this search for fresh faces, the producers looked for someone who could bring a completely different energy to the series. They wanted a character who was outspoken, independent, and believable. Many young actresses auditioned, but Nancy McKeon quickly caught everyone's attention. According to people involved with the casting process, Nancy's audition was unlike many of the others. She brought a natural confidence that didn't seem forced. She wasn't trying to act tough just to impress the producers. Instead, she carried herself with an honesty that made the character feel real. Her attitude, voice, and expressions fit perfectly with what the writers had imagined. She looked like someone who could stand up for herself without losing her sense of humor or kindness. The producers knew they had found something special. Nancy was cast as Jo Polniaczek, a new student at Eastland School. She officially joined the Facts of Life at the beginning of Season 2, and almost immediately, the show felt different. Jo was introduced as a teenager from a working-class background who had a reputation for getting into trouble. She wore leather jackets, jeans, boots, and often challenged authority. She spoke her mind without worrying about whether everyone agreed with her. Unlike many female television characters of the early 1980s, Jo was not interested in fitting into traditional expectations. She was athletic, confident, stubborn, and willing to defend herself whenever necessary. At first, Jo's rough edges often led to disagreements with the other girls. She especially clashed with Blair Warner, played by Lisa Whelchel. Blair came from a wealthy family and cared about fashion, popularity, and social status. Jo, on the other hand, believed those things mattered very little. Their very different personalities created many memorable moments, but over time, their relationship grew into one of respect and friendship. The disagreements between Jo and Blair became one of the show's most popular features because they also showed how people with different backgrounds could learn from each other. Nancy also developed strong chemistry with the rest of the cast. Charlotte Rae, who played the caring house mother Edna Garrett, became an important mentor both on and off the screen. Rae helped create a welcoming environment for the younger actors and encouraged them as they adjusted to the demands of a successful television series. Kim Fields, who played Tootie Ramsey, brought warmth and humor to the group, while Mindy Cohn's Natalie Green provided intelligence, wit, and honesty. Together with Lisa Whelchel, the four young actresses created a cast that audiences genuinely enjoyed watching. Their friendships felt believable because the actresses spent so much time together during filming. As the seasons continued, viewers watched the characters grow from teenagers into young adults, making the relationships even more meaningful. Jo quickly became one of the most recognizable characters on television. For many young viewers, especially girls, she represented someone they had rarely seen before. She showed that girls did not have to dress a certain way, enjoy traditionally feminine hobbies, or always behave quietly to be accepted. Jo was comfortable being herself even when others questioned her choices. This made her an important role model for many fans. Girls who felt different from their classmates often connected with Jo because she proved there was nothing wrong with standing out. She was strong without being perfect, confident without knowing all the answers, and independent while still caring deeply about her friends. Parents also appreciated that despite her rebellious image, Jo usually learned valuable lessons about responsibility, friendship, and respect. As the Facts of Life found its new identity, ratings improved significantly. The show became one of the most popular sitcoms of the 1980s and remained on the air for 9 seasons. Millions of viewers tuned in each week, making the cast household names across the United States and in many other countries where the series aired. Nancy's popularity grew right alongside the show's success. She appeared on the covers of teen magazines, gave interviews, and attended television events where fans eagerly waited to meet her. Young viewers wrote letters praising Jo's confidence and asking for advice. Her hairstyle, leather jackets, and casual fashion became popular with many teenagers who admired her style. Nancy handled the attention with professionalism, but fame also brought a much busier schedule filled with filming, publicity, and public appearances. Even as her popularity increased, Nancy remained committed to the Facts of Life. During those years, she received offers for other acting opportunities, including television projects that could have expanded her career even further. However, because of her filming schedule and her loyalty to the series, she turned down several roles. One of the best-known examples was the opportunity to audition for the role of Sarah Connor in The Terminator. Scheduling conflicts with The Facts of Life prevented her from pursuing the part, which eventually went to Linda Hamilton. While fans often wonder how different her career might have been, Nancy has never expressed regret about staying with the show that made her famous. Her decision reflected her dedication to her castmates and to the series that had given her the breakthrough she had worked toward since childhood. By the time The Facts of Life became one of television's biggest hits, Nancy McKeon had achieved what she had spent years chasing. She was no longer simply a hardworking child actress looking for a chance. She had become one of the most recognizable teen stars of the decade, with a character who continues to be remembered by audiences many years later. But while viewers saw a happy cast and a successful sitcom on screen, life behind the cameras wasn't always as smooth as it appeared. The pay dispute. As The Facts of Life became one of the biggest sitcoms on television, viewers saw a close group of friends sharing laughs, solving problems, and growing up together. Behind the cameras, however, the cast faced many of the same challenges that often come with a successful television series. Long hours, growing expectations, and disagreements over pay became part of life on the set, even as the show's popularity continued to rise. When the series first began, the young actors were still relatively unknown. Their salaries reflected that. But as the show's ratings improved and millions of viewers tuned in every week, the cast became some of television's most recognizable young stars. They were appearing in magazines, attending public events, and helping the network earn strong ratings. Naturally, many of them believed their pay should increase to match the show's success. As the seasons passed, frustration over salaries started to grow. Like many television productions, not every cast member was earning the same amount. Differences in experience, contract timing, and negotiations meant that some actors received better deals than others. While salary differences are common in Hollywood, they can also create tension when people are working together every day. Reports from the time described growing concern among several cast members about receiving fair compensation. They believed their contributions to the show's popularity deserved recognition in the form of higher pay. The actors were no longer newcomers trying to establish themselves. They had become essential parts of one of NBC's most successful sitcoms, and they wanted contracts that reflected that reality. The disagreement eventually reached the point where negotiations became serious. Several members of the cast pushed back against the existing contracts, leading to what has often been described as a strike or work stoppage during contract talks. Their goal was not to leave the show, but to reach an agreement that they believed was fair. These negotiations were an important moment for the young actors. Speaking up about salary is never easy, especially for teenagers working in a highly competitive industry. There was always the possibility that challenging the studio could affect future opportunities. Even so, they decided it was important to stand together and ask for better terms. Eventually, agreements were reached, allowing production to continue. While the exact details of every contract were never fully made public, reports indicated that the cast members received improved salaries after negotiations were completed. The dispute came to an end, and filming resumed without major interruptions to the series. For viewers at home, very little seemed different, but behind the scenes, the actors had gained more confidence in standing up for themselves. Money was only one part of the experience. Working on a hit television show also meant following demanding schedules. Although child labor laws limited the number of hours young performers could work, filming a weekly sitcom still required long days. Cast members balanced rehearsals, filming, schoolwork, promotional appearances, interviews, and personal responsibilities. Their days were carefully planned, and there was often little time left to simply enjoy being teenagers. As the show became more successful, the pressure increased. Every new season came with expectations from the network, producers, advertisers, and millions of loyal viewers. The cast understood that each episode had to meet high standards. Learning scripts quickly, performing before live studio audiences, and keeping up with a fast production schedule became part of everyday life. For Nancy McKeon, these experiences shaped both her career and her understanding of Hollywood. In later interviews, she has spoken about how challenging it could be to grow up in the entertainment industry. While she has also shared many positive memories of the facts of life, she has acknowledged that being a young performer came with emotional pressure that audiences rarely saw. Nancy has explained that child actors often carry responsibilities far beyond what most people their age experience. They are expected to behave professionally, meet production deadlines, and deal with public attention while still growing and learning themselves. Balancing fame with a normal personal life was not always easy. Over the years, broader conversations about child actors have encouraged former television stars to speak more openly about their experiences. Some discussions have focused on uncomfortable work environments, the pressure placed on young actresses to maintain a certain public image, and the emotional demands of constantly being judged by producers, executives, the media, and fans. These conversations have not always been directed at the facts of life specifically, but they have helped place Nancy's experiences within the larger reality of growing up in Hollywood during that era. At the same time, memories of the show's working environment have not been identical among the cast. Different actors have shared different perspectives during interviews and reunion specials. Some have described the set as supportive and filled with lasting friendships. Others have admitted there were stressful moments, disagreements, and emotional challenges that naturally developed over nearly a decade of working together. Those different recollections are not unusual. Every person experiences the same workplace differently, especially when they join it at a young age. Some remember the friendships first, while others remember the pressure that came with trying to succeed in a demanding industry. After nearly a decade as Jo Polniaczek, Nancy was ready to discover who she could become beyond one unforgettable television role, beyond Facts of Life. When The Facts of Life ended in 1988, after 9 successful seasons, Nancy McKeon faced the challenge that many young television stars eventually encounter. For years, audiences had known her as Jo Polniaczek, the tough, outspoken teenager with a leather jacket and a strong sense of independence. The character had become so popular that many people found it difficult to imagine Nancy playing anyone else. For many actors, this kind of success can become a problem. They become so closely connected to one role that casting directors struggle to picture them in different kinds of projects. Nancy was determined not to let that happen. Instead of trying to repeat the same kind of character, she looked for roles that allowed her to show different sides of her acting ability. Rather than staying in sitcoms, she began accepting projects that focused on drama, suspense, and emotional storytelling. It was a smart decision that helped audiences see her as more than just Jo. Throughout the late 1980s and the 1990s, Nancy became one of the busiest actresses in made-for-television movies. At the time, TV movies were extremely popular, often attracting millions of viewers. They covered everything from family stories to mysteries and true-life dramas, giving actors the chance to take on more serious roles than many sitcoms offered. Nancy appeared in a wide variety of these productions, showing that she was comfortable playing very different characters. One of her early post-Facts of Life projects was A Cry for Help, the Tracy Thurman story, based on the true story of a woman who survived domestic violence. Although Nancy played a supporting role, the film dealt with serious real-life issues and marked a clear step away from the lighthearted comedy that had made her famous. She also starred in movies such as Firefighter, Strange Voices, The Wrong Woman, Comfort, and Joy, and several other television productions that explored crime, family relationships, personal struggles, and suspense. These roles allowed her to play mothers, investigators, victims, professionals, and ordinary women facing difficult situations. Each new project helped expand her reputation as a dramatic actress. During this period, Nancy became known less for comedy and more for emotional performances. She proved she could carry serious stories that required depth and realism. Directors appreciated her ability to make characters feel believable, while viewers enjoyed seeing her take on roles that were very different from Jo Polniaczek. She also found success in thrillers and crime dramas. These films often placed her in tense situations where she had to portray fear, determination, and resilience. The change in genre showed that she was willing to challenge herself rather than remain comfortable with familiar material. Instead of relying on the popularity of her sitcom years, she continued developing new acting skills. Family-oriented films also remained an important part of her career. Nancy appeared in projects that reflected the wholesome image many viewers still associated with her, while also taking on stories with more emotional weight. This balance helped her appeal to longtime fans while attracting new audiences who knew little about the facts of life. One of the biggest milestones in the next stage of her career came in 2001 when she was cast as Inspector Ginny Eckstead in the Lifetime television series The Division. The crime drama followed a group of female police officers and detectives working in San Francisco. Nancy's character was dedicated, determined, and often struggled with personal challenges, including alcohol addiction. The role gave her another opportunity to move even further away from her sitcom image. Ginny Eckstead was a complex adult character with strengths, flaws, and emotional depth. Nancy's performance earned praise from viewers and showed how much she had grown as an actress since her teenage years. The Division became one of Lifetime's most successful original series and remained on the air for 4 seasons, ending in 2004. Once again, Nancy found herself starring in a long-running television show, but this time she was playing a mature, dramatic role rather than a teenage student. The success of the series proved that her career had successfully transitioned into adulthood. Outside of her leading roles, Nancy also made guest appearances on several television shows throughout her career. These appearances allowed her to stay active in the industry while working with different casts and creative teams. Although she never appeared on dozens of series every year, she consistently accepted projects that interested her and fit the direction she wanted her career to take. Away from television sets, another important chapter of Nancy's life was about to begin when she met the man who would become her husband, meeting Mark Andrus. After spending much of her childhood and adult life working in television, Nancy McKeon eventually found happiness away from the bright lights of Hollywood. While her career remained important, her personal life gradually became her top priority. This shift happened after she met the man who would become her husband, Mark Andrus, during the filming of a television movie. Nancy met Mark Andrus in the early 2000s while working on the Hallmark movie A Mother's Gift. Mark was not an actor. Instead, he worked behind the scenes as a film technician, helping make productions run smoothly. Because he was not a public figure, their relationship developed in a much more private way than many Hollywood romances. Unlike celebrity couples who often attract media attention from the beginning of their relationships, Nancy and Mark kept their romance almost entirely out of the spotlight. They rarely appeared together at public events, did not share many details with reporters, and chose not to turn their personal lives into entertainment news. For Nancy, who had already spent decades being recognized by television audiences, this privacy was something she deeply valued. As their relationship grew stronger, the couple decided to build a future together. In 2003, Nancy McKeon and Mark Andrus were married in a private ceremony attended by close family and friends. True to their style, very few details about the wedding were shared publicly. There were no highly publicized interviews or magazine exclusives. Instead, they celebrated the occasion quietly, reflecting the kind of life they wanted to live. After getting married, Nancy and Mark welcomed 2 daughters into their family. Becoming a mother marked a major turning point in Nancy's life. Having started working as a small child herself, she understood how demanding the entertainment industry could be. She wanted her own children to experience as normal an upbringing as possible, away from constant cameras and public attention. That desire influenced many of the decisions she made during the following years. Rather than remaining in the center of Hollywood, Nancy and her family chose to live outside the entertainment industry's busiest areas. They settled into a quieter lifestyle that gave them more privacy and more time together as a family. Over the years, reports have described the family living on a ranch where they could enjoy a slower pace of life. Away from busy film studios and red carpets, Nancy embraced everyday family routines. She has spoken very little about the details of her home life, but those close to her career have often noted that she enjoys the peace and balance that come with living away from Hollywood's constant spotlight. While Nancy was enjoying her quiet family life, she would soon face one of the most difficult personal losses of her life, reminding her once again of the importance of family losses, and challenges. Even after decades in television, Nancy McKeon has always made a clear effort to protect her privacy. Fame came into her life at a very young age, and by the time she was a teenager, she was already well known to millions of viewers. Over the years, she learned how to separate her public work from her private world. She rarely shared personal details in interviews and avoided turning her family life into public discussion. This approach became even more important as she got older and focused more on life outside Hollywood. One of the most important relationships in Nancy's life was with her older brother, Philip McKeon. The two grew up in the same household and entered the entertainment industry together as child actors. They understood each other's experiences in a way few people could. While both had acting careers, their bond was never about competition. Instead, it was built on support, shared memories, and a strong family connection that lasted throughout their lives. As the years passed, Philip continued working in the industry in various ways, while Nancy remained active in television through films and series. Even when their careers took different paths, they stayed close. Family was always a central part of Nancy's life, and her relationship with her brother remained steady despite the demands of Hollywood. In 2019, Nancy faced one of the most difficult moments of her life when Philip passed away after a long illness. His death was a major personal loss for her and her family. Although Nancy did not speak in detail publicly about the situation, it was clear that the loss deeply affected her. People close to her career and fans who followed her journey understood that she was going through a painful and private time. Despite her reduced public presence, Nancy has continued to receive strong support from fans. Many people who grew up watching her as Jo Polniaczek on The Facts of Life have remained loyal to her work. Even though she is not frequently seen at Hollywood events or in the media, her performances continue to be appreciated by longtime viewers and new audiences discovering her shows through reruns and streaming platforms. And while she continues to stay private, fans still wonder what she has been doing in recent years and where her life stands today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life stories from classic TV stars.